affiliates across Ghana, including Jubilee Radio in Keta, Kekeli Radio in Ho. Worldwide, we're on myjoyonline.com in this edition. Growing nationwide protests as opposition NDC continues. We'll take you to the northern regional capital, Tamale, as the Wa Central and also in the Upper West region. Meanwhile, former President Mahama says he will incite people to destabilize the peace of the country as he justifies the NDC's protests.
I'm peace loving. I'm not going to incite people to go, destroy things and do anything. I won't do that. But we need to establish the principles of our democracy and make sure that we uphold them at all times.
We'll hear from him. Also, NPP parliamentary candidate in Sino West constituency withdraws his injunction suit against the EC in disputed declaration of the results there. We have details as High Court in Bono East prepares to give a verdict on the matter. Parliament's Education Committee expected to meet today with various stakeholders, including UTAC, on controversial public universities bill. We'll hear from the committee chairman who says the bill will not necessarily compromise academic freedom.
Finally, we have agreed that although we have taken the second reading of the bill, we will still meet those university organizations so that we can take on board whatever concerns they will have.
And also in sports, we'll have the latest.
Columbus Crew captain and Ghana defender.
And much later, rapper Kofi Kinata ends the year with a new banger featuring Nigerian musician Pato Ranking. More about the Christmas banger called Something Nice. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Please stay for details. And this is your election headquarters in association with Petrosol. Clean fuel in full quantity. Cowbell Coffee. Taste it, love it. McDan Shipping and Logistics Limited, your total logistics partner. Padeva Limited, your home of modern furniture. DDP Outdoor Limited, serving great brands. Festiva, ardent flavors to your life. For 3-year lotteries, star 787 hash, Ghana's premier and biggest jackpot lottery, and HEPA Plus mixture for your general well-being. The opposition NDC is not relenting on its pledge to hit the streets in protest of the results declared by the Electoral Commission regarding the December 7 polls. NDC supporters in the various regions have taken to the streets to protest what they describe as fraudulent polls. Yesterday, we reported demonstrations from Seshirioso and, of course, in Kumasi as well. This morning, supporters of the opposition NDC are back on the streets of Tamale, clad in red and holding placards with inscriptions such as "The Stolen Verdict. We voted for change, so shall it be." Correspondent Martina Bugri joins us on the line with more on that protest in Tamale. So Martina, what's the latest situation regarding that protest in the streets of Tamale?
The protest has just ended after 2 hours of walk through the principal streets of Tamale. The mass gathered at the Jubilee Park where they were addressed by party leaders. Now the first vice chair of the party, Sofa Zoka, he says that they believe the NDC won the election, and so His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo should leave peacefully. He says that if he doesn't leave and God calls him, he should say it's a wrong line. Now, the Northern Regional Chairman of the NDC, Ibrahim Mobila, also addressed the crowd. He told them that they are giving the EC chair, Jean Mensah, 3 days. So on Friday, if they do not hear anything positive from her, they would hit the streets. He says that they would continue demonstrating until they get results. A former organizer of the party, the man they call Yellow, also mounted the podium. He told the gathering that Ghana is not like Rwanda, it's not like Somalia, and they would not want it to turn that way. But if the EC chair does not listen to the voice of the masses, that could happen in Ghana as well.
After all that, did we get a petition being presented to the EC offices, for instance, like we saw elsewhere yesterday?
No, they didn't present any petition. It was just an address to the masses who gathered here and then they dispersed.
My colleague Martina Bugre reporting from Tamale on that protest and back on by the NDC. We'll head to the Upper West region now.
Any attempt to send another General Assembly with every decision, we respect the intelligence of the security service. We are not the intelligence of the no justice, no. We will die. We will die because this.
What you hear there are sounds of NDC supporters headed for the EC offices in the region, also protesting declaration of the results from the just ended polls. My colleague Rafiq Salam has been monitoring that. What's the situation where you are, Rafiq?
The demonstration ended while they started from the NDC regional secretariat, moved to the principal streets of War, and then ended at the forecourt of the Upper West EC office, where they presented a petition to the Upper West Regional Director of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Ali Osman Adamu. The NDC are saying that they have seen a lot of anomalies, and they think that the collation of the results was fraught with discrepancies, and they think that John Dramani Mahama is the rightful winner of the elections. And so they held several placards talking about a stolen verdict and saying that Jean Mensa has really disappointed again. And so they are demanding that the election results of December 7th should be recollated, and then John Dramani Mahama, they are hopeful that will be declared the outright winner of the polls.
But largely, Rafiq, how peaceful has the process been, you would say?
I would say that it was peaceful right from the NDC secretariat when they were moving to the streets, chanting on top of their voices about why Mahama should be declared the winner of the elections. But when we go to the Electoral Commission's office, they started burning ties and also burning every inch of blade of grass in front of the EC. And so the place was engulfed with smoke, and then prompting the fire service that came to the place late because they were misdirected. They rather went to the World Central office of the EC. By the time that they came, most of the gases were already burned. Everyone largely it was a peaceful demonstration, except the burning of the ties and firing of knockouts and the burning of the gases.
That's our Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam bringing us up to speed on that protest. You also heard earlier Martina Bugri, and the NDC has already hinted that these protests will be done across the country. But former President John Mahama says he will not incite people to destabilize the peace of the country. The NDC leader also accuses President Akufo-Addo of not upholding the principles of democracy, citing his use of the military and other security agencies as the evidence of his lack of commitment to peace and democracy. He spoke with the Voice of America.
Let me make one point clear. I'm not going to do anything that jeopardizes the peace of this country. So I'm peace loving. I'm not going to incite people to go, destroy things and do anything. I won't do that. I'm peace loving, but I think that we've reached a point in our democracy where we need to establish the principles of our democracy and make sure that we uphold them at all times. Nana-Addo, in his period in office, has shown that he's not willing to abide by democratic principles.
Why do you say that?
I mean, a lot of the things he's done over the last 4 years, show that he does not believe in, democracy. His misuse of the military and the security services and national security to threaten journalists and, just create a general atmosphere, that is, unpleasant to our democratic principles is something that I do not agree with. And if my principled objection to a very flawed election and to the circumstances surrounding the environment surrounding the election, will make us re-establish our democratic foundations and create a better foundation for the future, I'm willing to go that route.
You have a lot of friends, heads of state, top officials everywhere. Since this election, have they reached out to you, and what is the conversation with them about how the elections went?
Many of them have called me and asked me, what is happening. And I've explained my side to them. And they've listened to me, understandingly. And of course, the question they always ask me, so what are your next steps? Yeah. I can't determine those next steps alone. I led a political party. And so we need to take that decision together. And so I normally tell them that we're in the process of establishing exactly what our case is against what went on. And at the appropriate time, we will put that out.
Former President John Mahama there speaking to the Voice of America. Now, Civil Forum, a coalition of governance NGOs, and the Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC, says the National Democratic Congress must go to court following its rejection of the outcome of the 2020 results. Speaking at a news conference earlier today to address issues that have come up after the polls, Dr. Angela Dwamnabwaje, who read the statement on behalf of the CSOs, noted that it is only the courts that can iron out whatever issues the NDC has concerning the just ended elections.
Carrying out demonstrations and going to court are not mutually exclusive nor contradictory. Legal recourse may be pursued even as peaceful demonstrations are carried out. Therefore, we join the voices of the sections of the public to urge the NDC to present their concerns to the courts for legal redress. We wish to emphasize in this regard that going to court does not amount to a lost cause. We fully appreciate that the aggrieved parties may be concerned over the length of time required in pursuing court cases, and the fact that during this time, the processes of swearing in the president and parliamentarians will take place, seemingly bringing their case to naught. We wish, therefore, to explain that the Constitution indeed provides a tight schedule of statutory dates for the swearing in of the elected president and parliamentarians. This schedule will have to be followed in order that the entire system of governance does not come to a standstill, leading to a constitutional crisis. We wish to assure members of the public that the courts have the mandate to effect necessary changes following their verdicts on election-related disputes.
Well, the CSOs also urged the police administration to protect NDC sympathizers who are embarking on a nationwide protest to challenge the outcome of the polls. My colleague Kweku Asante is at that press conference. He joins us on the line. Kweku, we also understand that Dr. Akwete of IDEC has been responding to the NDC's request for an independent audit of pink sheets. What exactly has he been saying?
Well, so the NDC flag bearer actually speaking to Voice of America a few months ago, the Electoral Commission, that only the concerns are that we should accept the results of the 2020 election if an audit is carried out and an independent forensic audit proves that he knows. And so Dr. Akwete has been saying that the Electoral Commission as of this moment has gazetted the results of the 2020 election. And so the Electoral Commission has been talking about those issues.
Unfortunately, we have a terrible connection to Kweku Asante's line. We'll try and reconnect with him, and he's been making reference to that VOA interview that Mr. Mahama had, and indicated that they will be asking for independent audit of pink sheets. That's the only reason that he would accept the results of the election 2020. My colleague Kweku Asante will join us back with more from what Dr. Akwete has been saying. But the parliamentary candidate of the New Patriotic Party in the Sene West constituency, Joseph Kuma McKay, has withdrawn his injunction suit against the Electoral Commission in the disputed declaration of results there. The Commission has put on hold the declaration of the results there after a ballot box was snatched at a polling station. The box was subsequently retrieved. Now, the NPP candidate filed a suit seeking to restrain the EC from counting and adding the results from that polling station. Although the motion for injunction has been withdrawn, the High Court judge in Wenchi is set to rule on the substantive matter on Thursday. Now, this will pave way for the EC to declare the constituency, currently the New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress, have won 137 and 136 seats, respectively, with one independent candidate. Only the Sene West constituency is outstanding in what will be a hang 9th Parliament or 8th Parliament. David Boache is NPP Bono East Region Secretary. He joins us on the line with more on this. It appears we don't have David Boache just yet. As and when we do, we'll get to him. Now, Odododio in Accra is another constituency which was classified a flashpoint prior to the elections, and it did not disappoint. A 15-year-old girl is one of the two teenagers who died during the disturbances there on election day. Ernest Meno returned to the area to speak to her family and friends.
We're here now at Bukum to speak to the family of one of the victims. Aside Emmanuel, there was a young lady, 15 years of age, Rita, who was also shot and died eventually. We'll speak to the mother of the 15-year-old and some relatives here at Bukum.
After I'd voted, I decided to go do business because I'm a single parent. I have no one to help me. Soon after I returned from the market, I heard people screaming. They said my daughter was dead, but I couldn't believe it. So I followed up to the hospital, and indeed, I saw my daughter was dead.
Rita's grandmother believes she was shot multiple times on the chest.
I was about to take a nap when someone told me that my granddaughter had been shot dead. They asked that I come along with them, but I couldn't. So they showed me a picture of my girl. It was her. She had several bullet wounds on her chest. My granddaughter is dead.
The families want the two parties, the NPP and the NDC, to take swift action and help them bury their daughter.
We're celebrating the supposed victory of the NPP. She supports the NPP even though her mother sympathizes with the NDC. None of the parties have been here to mourn with us. They should help us bury her. We plead with them.
MPP ayanyi no inabila analebini die nakana sane anale nakan won kpanye fai nye wani wo fun gbeken ta wo na fun.
And as Kujomenu's reports there, we'll take a quick break here on the Midday News. We're right back.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Apawu. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sonmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrot FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
Your dear, we're going to make every moment special. Whether it's
I see you, Kipo.
There's more than enough drama series to bond over. There is something to keep you.
What are we doing today, man?
Endlessly entertained. You won't miss the action between.
My body will be better. Ronaldo or Messi.
You know, go fit rescue you from Auntie's questions. So
you said when you dey marry now.
That will give you ideas. Choose DSTV this holiday season and make it your moment for only 45 Ghana cedis per month. DSTV, it's your moment.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports with Baba Tando.
Captain of Major League Soccer side Columbus Crew, Jonathan Mensah, says although he is eyeing a Black Stars call-up, he will still need to be in the right shape when the opportunity arises. Mensah featured in every single game for the Crew in their MLS triumph this season and was named in the Team of the Year as a result. The defender last featured for the Black Stars in 2019 during the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt.
It's always a great feeling to get the email, hey, you've been invited to the national team. And, all I need to do is just prepare, make sure that I'm ready when the call-up is at my doorstep. So I don't need to look further. I just need to, like I said earlier on, take it day by day, prepare, so that when the opportunity comes again, I'll grab it.
Log on to myjoyonline.com/sports for more updates. You are up to date in the world of sports. I'm Baba Tanda from London.
Thank you very much, Baba Tando. Let me take you now to the Ashanti region, where the Ghana National Fire Service says its preliminary investigations point to arson in the fire that gutted the office of the Electoral Commission at Fomena on Election Day. Police have taken up the matter as fire officials prepare to conclude their investigations a week after the election. Nana Ojima went back to the Fomena constituency to follow up on the violence recorded on that day.
A gallon smelling of petrol was found around the building. A hole was also made in the window of the building, suspected to have been used as passage for the fire. DO3 Oscar Opoku leads the fire service in Fomena.
Take a gallon of petrol here. You can just smell a petrol inside. There is an exhibit. The EC office, their documents have got bent, but notwithstanding, the ballot boxes and the papers are all intact.
At the dawn of the incident, some supporters of the NPP had gathered at the Collation Center at Fomena, sited a few meters from the EC office. They were protesting what they called rigged election in favor of the independent candidate. The agitated crowd was stopped by the armed police and military personnel from invading the center to disrupt the process. It is suspected the mob started the inferno, but police are yet to make an arrest. The constituency had recorded a number of violent incidents prior to the election, justifying reasons for being tagged a flashpoint. Seth Odo, who worked for the independent candidate in the Fomena parliamentary race, is a victim of the violent assault.
They were beating me here and there. So I tried to dodge some of the bros, and others who hit me because they were many.
Victims point to heavily built men associated with an NPP executive in the area, but party denied the allegation. NPP parliamentary candidate Philip Ofuriasante spoke to Joy News.
I mean, I'll be a fool to do that. Why would I do that? Don't pass it from my stronghold. Why would I do that? Or Chichire, it's my stronghold. Or Bobrias, it's my stronghold. Why would I do that? Or Abedrum, or Nyabrim, or Akrezungu. These are my strongholds. Let nobody deceive nobody. Trust me.
Now, from Fomena here in Accra, traders at Cantamanto are counting their losses after fire gutted their stores last night. The fire affected the sewing and cloth section of the market. Some traders spoke to Joy News' Benjamin Akakbo.
Here this morning in Cantamanto. Now, this is exactly where, a lot of traders engage in knitting, in working on clothes for students, their school attire and all of that. And this morning, it is thick smoke, raging fire, a lot of destroyed property, and many sad faces that have greeted us right here in Cantamanto. A lot of, property razed to the ground. And from what I have been told, the fire started yesterday, last night. People got calls, started trooping in here. But by the time they got in here, the fire was not one that they could control. What's on there? What side?
Contract no amo de ba edwam hanom na ya no bi enye in last month in the buy na ye beto abani no en ye twentwen so en run na bibia yi ekoyi na me chichema on be amon me chichema on ma fe die obia o sabon se bia sabon se tete bon se bia ba sa be 50 ni ade a omo be amon.
Some traders at Cantamanto interacting with Joy News. Benjamin Akakbo. Let's head to Parliament now. And Parliament's Education Committee would later today meet with various education sector stakeholders, including the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, after the groups kicked against plans to pass the Public Universities Bill 2020. The bill went through second reading yesterday, during which Parliament debated its principles and the principles of that bill, I should say. UTAG says they will undermine academic independence and give government unfettered control over the university. Listen to UTAG President Dr. Charles Mafo.
I'm disappointed that we have not been presented with any bill to scrutinize, to peruse, and something is being debated on. And if you read our memo, we made it very clear on the first page that the bill in its current state stands against the Constitution of Ghana.
But ranking member on Parliament's Education Committee, Peter Nochu, says today's meeting will allow the stakeholders to propose possible amendments to the bill.
Finally, we have agreed that although we have taken the second reading of the bill, we will still meet those university organizations like GRASAG, UTAG, and then the Students' Representative Council, so that we can take on board whatever concerns they will have. If there's the need probably to make further amendments to the bill, then we will propose that as amendments to the bill before we take the consideration at the plenary. As a committee, we try to propose the deletion of those areas that would tend to compromise or take over the academic freedom of the universities. And I hope that if the House agrees with our proposals, then I think that those fears will be alleviated. If you look at the 15 membership of the council, the president is still going to appoint 6 of them. That is the chairman of council and 5 others. So that makes it 6 out of the 15 membership of the governing council.
Let's speak to parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Joseph, so to what extent will this meeting impact the document currently before the House?
The document has actually gotten to a stage where amendments would have to be made to it. In fact, the Committee on Education has proposed 3 different amendments. From what we gather, any additional suggestions that will come from these groups in the meeting will be added onto the 3 amendments so that when the bill eventually returns to the floor on Monday for the consideration stage, those inputs will be made. So yes, depending on how the committee accepts the recommendations they make, those inputs would fundamentally change how the document will look like eventually.
So I'm just seeing a notification of a tweet of the Information Minister saying that the Vice President has been briefed on the bill and that the Education Committee Chairman, Honorable Kwetu, will be briefing the press shortly on the changes that have been made. Has that happened? Do we even know what the changes are?
We are waiting to see that. I spotted the Information Minister walk into the chamber a while ago. Additionally, I've spotted William Kwetu, the chairman of the Education Committee, right here. We are expecting that briefing and those specific details any moment from now.
That's Joseph Opoku Gakpo, our parliamentary correspondent. Now, many car dealers continue to import right-handed vehicles into the country in violation of the law banning it. That's the revelation following an Adum TV investigative piece. So the right-hand vehicles imported range from small vehicles to cargo ones, with many of them used for commercial purposes. Road safety experts are expressing worry about how the conversion to left-hand can affect vehicle efficiency.
Ghana's automobile industry keeps growing, even though that industry is struggling to get rickety vehicles off the country's roads. A recent statistics indicate that both commercial and passenger vehicles are forecast to grow at a healthy rate in Ghana. Experts blame this on bad roads plus type and condition of vehicles. One worrying trend currently clothing the country's automobile industry is the importation and conversion of right-hand vehicles.
Right hand or right steering hands must not be used in the country. After 4th August 1974, Ghana shifted from driving on the left to the right, which means that the steering must be placed on the left of the vehicle and not the right of the vehicle. Now the laws are there right from then that nobody should import. Time was given for a while. That you can bring those vehicles, or those vehicles are in existence, but within a period of time, I think it was 2 years or so, no vehicle which has the right steering can be driven on the roads.
You also check the vehicles that you buy. That's our road safety campaign brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority and the Toyota Ghana Limited, as well as Logistics Movers. It's time now for entertainment, and Mapito Sibidi is here. What's up, Mapito?
What's up, Emefa? 2020 has been a very hectic year for us. Well, Kofi Kenata has given us a special gift by releasing a song called Something Nice with Nigerian musician Peteron King. Let's listen.
Life is too short, I know if you waste time.
So he's talking about everything nice, anything nice. It's actually a party song. It's for entertainment, just have fun. We've been through a lot in 2020. So getting to the end of 2020, we needed something to, have fun with it, just to forget about whatever happened in 2020.
Yeah, the party,
Something nice.
Definitely something nice. What a way to end the midday news. Thank you very much, Mapitso. And there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Pastor Menso Tubal is up next with Living Word, Christ, the Light of Our World, Episode 2.